Bonjour, je m'appelle Stacy. Hi, my name is Stacy. Welcome to Tea with Me. Today we're going to take you to France to discuss various tea houses in Paris. Everyone knows that not only is my favorite place in the world Paris, but my favorite teas in the world are made in Paris, because I think the French do everything in such a lovely fashion. The presentation, the flavoring, the quality of food and clothing and perfume and teas. And plus there's an Eiffel Tower. Hello, there's Eiffel Towers all over my house. Let's start with Fauchon. Fauchon makes a fabulous tea. It's the level of fragrance and oils that are added to it just give it an amazing blend. This is a melange. Oh my goodness. If you could smell this, let's see if I can show you. If you remember on the episode or clip that we did, I'm looking for my little spoon. I don't see it. The episode that we did on British teas, there were some large flowers that were, excuse me, let me get a little spoon out here. I can't find my teaspoon in there. And in this particular one, I wanted to show you how generous when they do a floral tea in France. Look at how generous they are with the different flowers that are in this tea. It is a mellow, sweet apricot flavor that meets citrus notes of sweet and blood oranges. This is really amazing. And that is by a company called Fauchon. And just the presentation, if you can see this beautiful tin, and it stays very nicely. Little lid that slides on, so it stays fresh for a very long period of time. Fauchon also makes tea bags that come in this darling little pouch that you can put in your purse and carry with you, which I do. I carry tea bags with me all the time. Anyone who knows me, it's kind of ridiculous. It's a lovely silk sachet inside. Let me show you. Can you see? Fauchon? You get an idea. It's a beautiful silk pouch that the French offer their tea in. And you can also see that it's a full leaf, full-size leaves compared, again, on your, I guess it's your left, my left, your right, the one over here, the little dust particles. That's what we generally get in America versus these beautiful, full tea leaves in Paris. So, in their fancy little silk pouch, that is what Fauchon offers. And they do offer this cute little to-go. If you're traveling, open up your little canister, and inside you have your beautiful Fauchon tea bags, which are always in my handbag. Lastly, at Fauchon, one of the really cute things that they have is called the Coeur de Thé, tea heart. And in this beautiful silk pouch, what a presentation this makes at a dinner party when you remove your tea flower from your silk pouch. It is best presented in a clear teacup or tea kettle so they can see it. It's like a flower bulb. When it's placed in there and the water is poured onto it, it blossoms, almost like a lotus flower. Where is my, here we go. So you would place it in a larger teapot that's clear. And when it blooms with the water onto it, can you see this is sort of the Asian version of it up at the top, this photo. Very pink and lotus flower-like. It makes an amazing presentation when you're serving tea for some important company. It's also a very elegant gift. When I was in Paris, once I brought back a bunch of these little sachets for friends as a little memento. And because they're in these beautiful black and silk pouches, they made a very thoughtful and elegant little gift for people. My very, very, very favorite tea house in Paris is Maison de Laude. Maison de Laude has been around since the 1800s. Can you see these two flavors? Here we go. Marie Antoinette. This is the most, there are two of my favorite teas in the whole world, and this is one of them. Marie Antoinette is, again, a melange or a blend. And in these lovely canisters, you can see, oh my goodness, when you open this, this waft of this beautiful fragrance comes out. It's like an elegant, you know, Chanel 5 for the teeth. It's just the appropriate level of everything. Can you see the nice presentation and the nice full tea leaves? Oh, it smells so good. Now, this Marie Antoinette came out several years ago when the Marie Antoinette movie came out, and it was intended to be a limited edition, but it was so popular and they sold so much of it that they have to keep it. In fact, when my daughter and I were in Paris, the year of the movie's release, they limited it to 2 canisters. And at the time, you could only get Fouchon, you could only get Maison de Laude in Paris. They didn't do internet. There are like 6 or 7 locations in Paris, but they didn't sell abroad. So you couldn't get it unless you were in Paris. Now there's one in New York on Madison Avenue. In Paris, most of them are places where you can eat. That's why it's called the House of Lauderay, Maison de Laude. But in New York, they just have their famous macaroons and some of their candies and tea offered more like a little store or a little shop. But you can get this in New York City. It is not inexpensive. It's a good $30–40 for this canister, but it is well worth it. So again, in New York on Madison Avenue, Maison de Laude. The next tea from Paris is Hédiard. This is from a gourmet store in Paris, and they sell other things such as, where is my chocolat? My friend Debbie's favorite hot chocolate with spices. It's kind of like a Mexican hot chocolate. It's not very sweet, so it isn't my favorite, but whenever I go to Paris, I always bring back the hot chocolate, which she keeps at my house as a treat for when she comes over. But again, it's a loose leaf tea, similar to all of your well-made European teas. This one's a morning tea. So they don't skip, they do the full leaf. Now, Hédiard, Fouchon that we showed you, and Maison de Laude, as well as Maxine's, are all in my favorite place in the world, Place de Madeleine. Place de Madeleine in Paris, they are positioned almost in a square, and you can spend several hours because the stores are so elegant and so beautiful, and they do sell, you know, other things like chocolates and preserves and syrups and just beautiful gifts and packages. So in Place de Madeleine, it's like a tea lover's heaven, because there's Hédiard next door to Fouchon, Maison de Laude, there's Maxine's of Paris. So when I'm there, we tend to get that out of the way. There's a lot of bags to carry around. Just go there first and knock it out from each of the locations. So the last of the Parisian teas is a tea house from 1854, the Brothers Mariage. This tea is very strong and a little bit on the bitter side, similar to the Russian teas you've seen in our other clips. So, well, it's not my favorite. If you like strong teas, the quality of this tea is amazing. The presentation that it comes in. My daughter got this beautiful Swan Lake music box. They had a special Swan Lake flavor at the time. Paris Opera Ballet was performing Swan Lake, and they came out with this to kind of support that. And it just came in this wooden box, and it was amazing. So the things they offer are fabulous. And I can't say enough about this tea. It's just that it isn't my palate and this particular level of tea, if you will, don't go together very well. But that's my recap of some of my favorite Parisian teas. I hope that was helpful next time you're in Paris. Au revoir!